Success begins with how you think every single day. If you want to stand out from the crowd, you must adopt the mindset that only 1% of people truly understand. This mindset is not about luck or talent, but about consistent choices that build your future step by step. When you unlock this way of thinking, your actions become sharper, your focus stronger, and your goals clearer. Today we will talk about how to unlock the 1% mindset and use it to transform your tomorrow. This is about shifting your thoughts to create lasting change and new opportunities. If you're ready to change your thinking and open the door to a better life, then let's dive in. Number 1, adopt a growth mindset and embrace continuous learning daily. Most people wake up each day feeling stuck, not because they don't want to do better, but because deep down they believe that what they are now is all they'll ever be. They've convinced themselves that they're not smart enough, not lucky enough, or that they missed their shot. And so they go through the motions: work, eat, sleep, repeat. No spark, no challenge, no push. Just a loop. Quiet frustration disguised as routine. They avoid challenges because they don't want to look foolish. They stop asking questions because they're afraid of looking like they don't know. But that's the trap. The biggest roadblock isn't outside of them, it's in the way they think. If you want to unlock the 1% mindset, the mindset of people who live with purpose, impact, and progress, then the first shift must happen in your thinking. You have to see yourself as someone who can grow, someone who can learn something new every single day. You have to stop labeling yourself. I'm not good at this. I've never been that type. These thoughts sound harmless, but they shape everything. They decide what you try, what you say no to, what you fear. A growth mindset breaks those walls. It says, I might not know how yet, but I can learn. I can figure it out. You weren't born with your current set of skills. Everything you know you learned, so it makes no sense to believe you've peaked. Think about it. Every person you admire, respect, and aspire to be like, they weren't born with some magical gift you missed out on. They simply chose to grow. They chose to stretch their minds instead of sitting in comfort. They read books that challenged them. They spent hours learning from failures. They stayed curious while others settled. Now here's the truth. Growth isn't always fun. Learning is uncomfortable. You'll feel slow. You'll make mistakes. You'll question yourself, but discomfort is not your enemy. It's the signal you're stretching beyond what you've been. And the more you lean into it, the more you realize how much is possible for you. Your brain isn't fixed. Your talent isn't capped. The only limits that exist are the ones you refuse to push through. But it takes a decision, a conscious one, to choose learning over ego. Most people would rather be seen as competent than become competent. They'd rather fake understanding than raise their hand and ask the hard question. Don't fall into that. There is no pride in pretending. There is only power in progress. And progress begins when you say, I don't know, but I'm ready to learn. And here's what happens when you embrace learning every day. You build momentum, not in big leaps, but in daily inches. You read one page and it teaches you a new idea. You watch one meaningful video and it opens a new perspective. You talk to someone smarter than you and it sharpens your thinking. These little moments pile up. They build you. Day by day, your understanding deepens. Your thinking becomes sharper. Your confidence grows. And eventually, you become someone people look to for answers. Not because you faked your way there, but because you earned your knowledge. But you can't stop. A growth mindset is not a phase. It's a way of life. It's waking up each morning and asking yourself, what can I learn today that I didn't know yesterday? It's treating each challenge as a teacher. It's being okay with not having all the answers, but hungry enough to go find them. And when you approach life this way, doors open. People trust you. Opportunities come to you. Because growth-minded people are rare. They're valuable. In a world full of people pretending to know, you become the one willing to learn. And understand this. Learning isn't just about reading books or watching videos. It's about self-awareness. It's asking yourself hard questions. Why did I react that way? What am I avoiding? What belief is holding me back? That kind of learning is deeper. It changes how you see yourself. It changes how you show up in the world. The 1% mindset doesn't just seek knowledge, it seeks self-mastery. It says, like, how can I become better today even if no one sees it? You don't have to be brilliant. You just have to be consistent. Pick up the book, even if it's one page. Write down what you learned today, even if it's small. Challenge one belief that's been keeping you stuck. Ask one question that you're scared to ask. Learn one new skill. Watch how those daily actions shift your path. It might feel slow at first, but after 6 months, a year, you won't recognize the person you were. When you develop this mindset, you stop seeing failure as a problem. You start seeing it as feedback. You stop comparing yourself to others and start competing with who you were yesterday. You stop looking for shortcuts and start building real foundations. This is how you rise. This is how the 1% lives. Not with luck, not with gifts, but with intention. They choose growth every single day, whether it's convenient or not. And here's something most people don't realize. Growth is addictive. Once you taste progress, you don't want to go back. You'll start noticing how average conversations bore you, how gossip doesn't feed you, how staying the same becomes uncomfortable. That's when you know your mindset has shifted. You start seeking better questions, better environments, better people, better outcomes. You become someone who leads, not follows. Someone who builds, not waits. Someone who creates their life instead of reacting to it. You're not stuck because of your past. You're stuck because of your mindset. Change that and you change everything. No one's coming to unlock your potential for you. That's your job. And you don't need to know everything today. You just need to be willing to grow. One step, one lesson, one breakthrough at a time. That's how the 1% think. That's how they move. And that's what's waiting for you, if you choose it. Number 2, set ambitious goals and break them into small tasks. Most people never live the life they want because they never get clear on what they truly want. They wake up, go to work, handle what's in front of them, and tell themselves they'll figure it out someday. But someday turns into weeks into years, and eventually they look back and wonder where the time went. It's not that they didn't have potential. It's that they never aimed high enough. Or they aimed so high without structure that they quit when it got overwhelming. Most people walk around with dreams locked inside of them, never written down, never acted on, because they don't know how to start. And without a goal that stretches you and a plan that guides you, you stay where you are. Setting an ambitious goal doesn't mean fantasizing. It means choosing something bold that matters deeply to you, something that forces you to grow into someone stronger, more focused, more capable. But ambition alone isn't enough. You need clarity. You need structure. You need a system that brings the goal out of your head and into your actions. Without that, the goal stays a wish. The world is full of people with dreams, but very few follow through. And the reason isn't laziness. It's the absence of a clear plan they believe in. The people who achieve extraordinary things don't have easier lives. They've simply learned how to turn big visions into small, manageable steps. They don't try to build everything in one day. They don't get paralyzed by the size of their ambition. They understand that the key is momentum. One solid step after another. One page, one phone call, one decision. And over time, those steps add up. What felt impossible at the start becomes your new reality. When you break down a big goal into daily tasks, you take control. You don't leave your progress up to chance. You build it with intention. And this gives you power. Each small task gives you a win. Each win fuels your confidence. You feel yourself moving, not just dreaming. You feel capable, not stuck. And here's the truth. Success is never one giant leap. It's hundreds of small, consistent efforts stacked over time. It's waking up and doing what matters, even when it's boring, even when no one's watching. That's what makes the difference. But first, the goal must be yours. Not something you think sounds impressive. Not something others expect. It has to mean something to you. Something that gets your attention, your energy, your emotion. It could be building a business, changing careers, writing a book, getting in shape. Whatever it is, it must matter enough to pull you through resistance. If it doesn't stir something in you, you'll quit the second it gets hard. Once your goal is clear, write it down. That's not a suggestion. It's a must. A goal that isn't written down is nothing but a loose idea. The act of writing it makes it real. It commits you. It gives your mind a target. And once it's written, ask yourself, what are the steps between where I am now and where I want to be? Be specific. Break it down into pieces small enough that you can act on them today. If it's too big, your brain will stall. Keep it simple. Not easy, but simple. The goal might be huge, but today's task should be something you can finish by the end of the day. A lot of people get stuck because they confuse planning with doing. They spend days mapping out their strategy, researching, watching videos, organizing their notes, but they never start. Don't fall into that trap. Planning matters, but action builds results. Do something every day that moves the needle, something that makes you uncomfortable, something that forces effort. That's how you train your mind to focus. That's how you build real progress. Now, there will be days when you don't feel like it. That's normal. You'll be tired. You'll be frustrated. You'll question if the goal is even worth it. That's when you go back to your why. Remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself what's on the line, and then do the next task anyway. Not because you feel like it, but because you made a decision. Discipline means doing what you said you would do long after the mood you made that decision in has faded. There's also power in reviewing your small wins. Every few days, look back at what you've done. Don't wait until the goal is complete to feel proud. Celebrate the steps. That progress builds momentum. It reminds you that you're capable of following through. And every time you complete a task, you train your brain to trust yourself. You stop being someone who starts and quits, and you become someone who finishes. You'll also find that once you start moving, new ideas come. Better strategies, faster ways to get things done. But you only discover those once you're in motion. You can't think your way to progress. You act your way there. Movement reveals clarity. You don't need to see the whole path. You just need to start walking. And when you break your goals into pieces, it also makes failure easier to handle. If something doesn't work, you adjust the task. You tweak the step. You don't throw away the whole goal. That's what people with the 1% mindset understand. Setbacks don't mean you stop. They mean you adjust. They use every mistake as a lesson. They keep the goal and they change the plan. One of the most powerful things you can do is build a list the night before. Don't wake up guessing what matters. Know it. Decide it. Write down 3 to 5 tasks that push your goal forward. Not busy work, real meaningful actions. That list becomes your compass. Follow it before the distractions of the day take over. Before you get pulled into messages, noise, and interruptions. Protect your focus and give your best hours to your highest goal. And remember this, the goal doesn't care how you feel. The outcome you want doesn't bend to your comfort. You either do the work or you don't. It's binary. Every day you choose whether to move closer or further. That's the truth. But the good news is, each choice builds on the last. And soon, your life starts to reflect your effort. People start to notice. Opportunities begin to appear. Confidence builds. And it all started with a goal that scared you a little and a system that helped you stay on track. Success isn't about having more talent or more luck. It's about being bold enough to aim high and smart enough to break it down. You don't need permission to go after something big. You just need a plan you're willing to follow. And if you stick with it long enough, you'll look back and realize the life you wanted wasn't out of reach. It was just waiting on your commitment. Number 3. Prioritize your time by focusing on high-impact activities. Most people feel overwhelmed by their daily lives. The hours slip away, and by the end of the day, they wonder what they actually accomplished. They have long to-do lists filled with small, easy tasks that make them feel busy, but don't move them forward. They get stuck in distractions, meetings that don't matter, and chores that drain their energy. This isn't because they don't want to do more or be better. It's because they don't know how to manage time effectively. They confuse being busy with being productive. And that confusion keeps them from reaching their potential. The truth is, not all tasks are created equal. Some things have a huge impact on your future, while others just keep you busy right now. If you want to unlock the 1% mindset, you must learn how to separate what matters from what doesn't. You have to recognize which activities generate the greatest results and focus your energy there. It's not about working harder or longer. It's about working smarter with clear priorities that align with your goals. Most people waste their time on low-value tasks because those are the easiest to do. They answer every email immediately, check social media dozens of times a day, and say yes to requests that pull them away from their own work. This constant reaction to everything around them steals focus and leaves them exhausted with nothing to show for it. High-impact activities require discipline and focus. They often come with discomfort because they stretch your skills and push you out of your comfort zone. That's why most avoid them. But those are the tasks that move you closer to your vision. Begin by identifying your highest value tasks. These are the few things you can do that create the biggest progress towards your goals. Maybe it's making a sales call, writing a chapter of your book, creating a business plan, or practicing a skill. These tasks may take more effort, but their rewards multiply over time. When you focus on these, your results will multiply too. Once you know what these high-impact activities are, protect your time fiercely. Schedule blocks in your day when you work on them without interruption. Turn off notifications, close your email, and put your phone on silent. This level of focus will feel strange at first because your mind is used to jumping from one thing to another. But the more you practice, the more you'll see how much you can accomplish when you work without distractions. It also helps to eliminate or delegate low-value tasks. Cleaning your inbox, attending unnecessary meetings, or handling routine chores can be delegated or scheduled for less productive times. This frees your mental energy for what truly matters. You don't have to do everything yourself. You have to do what only you can do. A big part of prioritizing time is learning to say no. This is hard because people fear disappointing others or missing opportunities. But every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals, you say no to your future success. Saying no isn't about being rude or lazy. It's about respecting your own time and energy. It's about honoring your goals enough to protect your schedule. Another challenge is managing interruptions. Every ping from your phone, every unexpected visitor, and every small task can pull you away from your focus. Set boundaries with others about when you're available. Use signs, schedules, or tools to minimize disruptions. When you regain control of your time, you regain control of your results. Time prioritization also means planning your day with purpose. Don't wait for the day to control you. Decide the top 3 to 5 tasks that will move your life forward and commit to completing them before you touch anything else. This creates a sense of accomplishment and forward motion that feeds motivation. When the urgent crowd tries to pull you away, you'll have the anchor of your plan to keep you grounded. Be aware that your energy fluctuates throughout the day. Many successful people schedule their most important work when their mind is sharpest, often in the morning. Lighter, less demanding tasks can be done when energy dips. This aligns your work with your natural rhythm and improves productivity. Knowing yourself and adjusting your schedule accordingly is part of mastering your time. It's also important to review how you spend your time. At the end of each day or week, reflect on whether you focused enough on high-impact activities or if distractions took over. This honest look gives you control to adjust your habits. Without reflection, you stay stuck in inefficient patterns. Avoid multitasking. It feels like you're doing more, but it actually reduces quality and speed. The brain can only focus deeply on one thing at a time. When you switch rapidly, it wastes energy and time. Focus on one task, complete it, then move on. That's how excellence is built. Time is your most valuable resource because it can't be replaced. You can earn more money, but you can't earn more time. How you spend each hour defines your future. High-impact activities are investments in your life, your skills, and your dreams. They build momentum. They create confidence. They bring you closer to becoming the person you want to be. Remember, it's not about squeezing every minute out of the day or filling your schedule with endless tasks. It's about making deliberate choices, choosing to work on things that matter even if they are hard, choosing to protect your focus even if others don't understand, choosing to respect your time like it's the foundation of your future. When you start prioritizing time this way, you'll notice how your results improve without adding stress. You'll feel more in control. Your energy will go further. Your progress will be visible. You'll stop feeling like you're constantly behind and start feeling like you're leading your life. This is the mindset that separates the 1% from the rest. They don't just work hard, they work intentionally. They don't just fill their days, they fill their lives with meaningful actions. They don't just respond to life, they create it. And you can do this too once you understand the power of focusing on high-impact activities. Every hour you choose to spend wisely builds your tomorrow. Every distraction you resist makes you stronger. Time will always be there, but how you use it will decide who you become. The choice is yours to make.